Stop counting your steps. Seriously, put the pedometer down. Ignore the ring on your smartwatch, because if you are relying on 10,000 steps to save your life or melt your belly fat, you are playing a game that your biology was designed to lose. We have been sold a comfortable lie. The lie is that movement equals progress. The lie is that a calorie burned walking through the grocery store is the same as a calorie burned with intention. It is not. You see, the human body is the most efficient survival machine on the planet. It is designed to hoard energy, not waste it. When you walk the way 99% of people walk, distracted, slouched, and slow, your body enters efficiency mode. It burns almost nothing. It protects your fat stores like a miser protects gold. But there is a back door, a specific metabolic state where the body has no choice but to unlock the vault. Today we aren't just going to talk about walking. We are going to talk about metabolic flux. We are going to dismantle the 10,000 step myth and replace it with a protocol based on the latest science in mitochondrial density and lipid oxidation. If you are tired of putting in the miles and seeing zero change in the mirror, this is the missing manual you never received. Welcome back to the channel. If you are ready to stop moving blindly and start training your biology, make sure you hit that subscribe, Real Logic Science, and turn on notifications. We don't do trends here, we do science. Let's get into it. To understand why your daily walk isn't working, you have to understand the hybrid engine concept. Your body is a dual fuel vehicle. Fuel source number one is glucose. This is sugar. It's stored in your liver and muscles as glycogen. It's cheap, it burns fast, and it's meant for emergencies. Think of it like rocket fuel. You use it to run from a tiger or to sprint to catch a bus. Fuel source number two is lipids. Fat, this is your reserve tank. It burns slow, it burns hot, and it is nearly infinite. Even a lean person has enough body fat to walk for weeks without eating. Here's the problem. Most people spend their entire lives stuck in sugar mode. Even when they exercise, when you go for a jog and you're panting, heavily breathing through your mouth, your body senses high stress. It thinks you are running from a predator. So what does it do? It shuts down fat burning. It blocks the exit doors of your fat cells because fat takes too long to break down. Instead, it dumps sugar into your blood for quick energy. You finish your run, you're exhausted, and you haven't burned an ounce of body fat. In fact, because you burn so much sugar, your brain screams at you to eat carbohydrates immediately to replenish the tank. This is why cardio makes you hungry. We need to flip the switch. We need to move in a way that signals safety, not danger. This brings us to the golden window. In clinical physiology, we call this the zone of maximal fat oxidation. Imagine a candle. If you blow on it too hard, the flame goes out. If you don't give it enough oxygen, it smokes. You need the perfect steady stream of air to keep the wax melting. Your fat is the wax. Oxygen is the air to burn fat. You need massive amounts of oxygen delivered to your cells without spiking your heart rate into the panic zone. This is the paradox. You have to work harder than a stroll, but easier than a run. So how do you find this without a $500 lab test? We use the sentence test. When you go for your walk tomorrow, I want you to talk to yourself or call a friend. If you can speak in a complete paragraph without gasping for air, but you would struggle to whistle a tune, you are there. If you can whistle, you're walking too slow. That's just transportation. If you can't finish a sentence, you're going too fast. That's sugar burning. You want to be right on the edge of discomfort. You should feel heat building in your body. You should feel a slight need for air, but you are in total control. This creates a biological signal that tells your mitochondria, we are moving, we need energy, but we are safe. That safety signal is the key that unlocks the fat cells. Now let's upgrade the hardware. The reason you struggle to lose weight isn't just about calories, it's about mitochondrial dysfunction. Mitochondria are the power plants inside your cells. They are the furnaces that burn the fat. Sedentary people have weak, tiny, effortless mitochondria. Athletes have dense, robust mitochondria. Here is the secret. Low in density, steady-state walking in this specific zone triggers a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. You literally grow more furnaces by walking correctly for 45 to 60 minutes. You aren't just burning calories for that hour, you are building a bigger engine. This means that 6 months from now you will burn more fat while you are sleeping simply because you have built the machinery to do so. But simply walking at one pace isn't enough for the modern world. We need to accelerate the process. We need protocol alpha, the incline variance. Biomechanically, flat ground is easy. Your body utilizes elastic recoil, basically the springiness of your tendons to bounce you forward. It's cheating. To strip off visceral belly fat, the dangerous fat around your organs, we need to remove the bounce. We need dead weight. This is where the incline comes in. You don't need to run. You just need to find a hill or set your treadmill to a 10 or 12% incline. Why? Because walking uphill eliminates the braking force. When you walk on flat ground, every step is a mini brake. When you walk uphill, every step is a concentric contraction. It requires pure muscular force from the glutes and hamstrings. This does two things. One, it doubles the caloric demand without the impact of running. Two, and this is crucial, it engages the largest muscle groups in the body. The posterior chain. The more muscle mass you engage, the more glucose receptors you activate. Even if you aren't diabetic, think of your muscles as a sponge for blood sugar. The bigger the sponge, the more you soak up.
Try this for 20 minutes. Walk at a steep incline, hands off the rails, never hold the rails. Holding the rails reduces the caloric burn by nearly 30%. Swing your arms, drive through the heel. You will sweat more in 20 minutes of incline walking than in an hour of flat walking, all while keeping your cortisol low. Now let's talk about chemistry, specifically the caffeine-cortisol axis. There is a debate. Should you walk fasted on an empty stomach or fed? For the mature adult looking to lose fat, fasted is the superior tool, but only if you combine it with the right catalyst. When you wake up, your insulin levels are at rock bottom. This is the perfect environment for fat loss. If you eat a bagel, insulin spikes and the doors to the fat cells lock shut for hours. Here is the protocol. Wake up, hydrate, drink black coffee or green tea. The caffeine does something fascinating. It increases the circulation of free fatty acids in your bloodstream. It literally pulls the fat out of storage and puts it into the blood, waiting to be burned. But here is the catch. If you drink that coffee and sit in your car, those fatty acids have nowhere to go. They eventually just get stored again, often right back in the belly. You have to use the fuel you liberated by walking immediately after caffeine consumption. You oxidize those free fatty acids. You are completing the cycle. Unlock, transport, burn. However, there is a mental component we cannot ignore. We have to discuss the dopamine detachment. Walk into any gym, look at any sidewalk. What do you see? People walking with their necks bent down, staring at a screen. Biologically, this is a disaster. When your eyes focus on a near object like a phone, your brain activates the sympathetic nervous system, the stress system. It creates a tunnel vision effect that mimics anxiety. If you are walking to lower stress and burn fat, looking at your phone is counterproductive. It keeps cortisol effectively high. And as we know, cortisol promotes belly fat storage. You need optic flow. Optic flow is the visual experience of the world moving past your eyes. When you look at the horizon or look at the trees passing by in your peripheral vision, it signals the amygdala, the brain's fear center, to calm down. It lowers breathing rates. It lowers cortisol. So the rule is simple. No screens. Audiobooks are fine. Music is fine. But your eyes must be up. Your posture must be tall. This opens the diaphragm, allows for deeper oxygen intake, and lowers the stress hormones that are holding on to your weight. Let's get granular. Let's talk about the second heart. Deep inside your calf muscle lies it's a muscle that is unique in the human body because it is designed not to fatigue. It can work for hours. Recent research has shown that the soleus is a metabolic powerhouse. It is exceptionally good at pulling glucose and lipids out of the blood. But most people walk with a lazy foot. They shuffle. They don't push off. To maximize the metabolic effect of your walk, you need a full range of motion. You need the toe off. When you step, roll through the entire foot and push off with your big toe. You should feel your calf engage with every step. This pumping action does two things. It activates the soleus for maximum metabolic regulation. It acts as a pump for your venous system, pushing blood back up to the heart, clearing out metabolic waste products, and reducing inflammation in the legs. If you finish your walk and your shins hurt, you are walking wrong. If your calves and glutes are warm, you are walking right. Now I want to offer an alternative for those who cannot walk in the morning. This is called the glucose disposal protocol. Maybe you have a heavy dinner. Maybe you ate too many carbs. You feel that slump, that food coma. Most people sit on the couch. This is the worst thing you can do. When you sit, your muscles are inactive. The sugar from your meal stays in your blood, raising your insulin, leading to inflammation and fat storage. You only need 10 minutes. Walking for just 10 minutes immediately after a meal creates a sink for that glucose. Your muscles contract and suck up the sugar from the bloodstream without even needing insulin to do it. It is a non-insulin mediated uptake. This flattens your blood sugar curve. It prevents the crash. And if you don't have a massive insulin spike, your body can get back to burning fat much sooner. If you can't do the long morning, 3 short 10-minute walks after breakfast, lunch, and dinner is scientifically superior to one 30-minute walk done at a random time. Timing is biology. So let's put this all together into a usable blueprint, the metabolic flux routine. Step 1, the timing. Ideally, first thing in the morning, fasted with caffeine. If not, then immediately after meals. Step 2, the pace. Find the zone where you can talk but not sing. You are hunting for that metabolic edge. Step 3, the terrain. Get off the flat ground. Find a hill. Use an incline, or if you are advanced, wear a weighted vest. Rucksack. We need resistance, not just movement. Step 4, the tech. Put the phone away. Get your eyes on the horizon to lower cortisol. Step 5, the engagement. Drive through the toe. Squeeze the glute. Make every step a deliberate contraction, not a passive fall. Walking is the most underrated tool in the arsenal of human health, but we have let it become passive. We have let it become junk volume. You have the power to turn a simple stroll into a complex physiological signal that tells your body to upgrade, to lean out, and to thrive. But you have to do it with intention. Don't just walk to get to the destination. Walk to change the machine. If you find value in this deep dive, do not leave without liking this video. It tells the algorithm that people want real science, not just trends. And I want to know in the comments, do you walk in the morning or at night? And have you been making the mistake of holding the rails? Let's talk about it down below.